Stop. Right now, put that phone down. I know your fingers are hovering over their name and your heart is screaming that maybe this time will be different. But what if I told you that your silence is the most powerful message you could ever send? If this feels like I'm reading your mind, hit that subscribe button and let me know in the comments what you struggle to say no to the most. I read every single comment, and your story might be exactly what someone else needs to hear today. Here's the truth nobody wants to tell you. When someone repeatedly chooses to be absent from your life, your presence becomes a gift they don't deserve. Every time you reach out first, every time you're the one initiating, every time you're explaining why you matter, you're teaching them that your value is negotiable. And listen to me carefully, it's not. You think calling them shows love, but what it actually shows is fear. Fear that without your constant effort, you'll be forgotten. Fear that if you don't chase, you won't be chosen. Fear that silence means abandonment. Fear that stillness equals invisibility. But here's what Carl Rogers understood about human psychology. Authentic love doesn't require convincing. Real connection doesn't need a sales pitch. Genuine care doesn't demand proof. You've been trained to believe that love is effort, that caring is chasing. That if you're not constantly available, constantly reaching out, constantly proving your worth, you'll disappear from their world entirely. You've been conditioned to think that your silence equals your surrender, that stepping back means giving up. But that's not love. That's anxiety masquerading as devotion. That's trauma disguised as commitment. That's your wounded inner child believing that love requires begging, pleading, convincing. When you step back, when you stop being available on demand, when you finally choose silence over desperation, something profound happens. The space you create forces them to feel the weight of your absence. The void where your voice used to be becomes impossible to ignore. And in that silence, they'll either realize what they lost, or they'll reveal that they never valued what they had. Both outcomes set you free. Both answers give you power. I know this terrifies you because you've been conditioned to believe that love means pursuit, that caring means chasing, that if you're not constantly proving your worth, you'll be replaced by someone who will, someone more available, more convenient, more willing to accept whatever crumbs they're offering, someone who won't challenge them, question them, or expect them to show up consistently. But attachment theory shows us something different. Secure connections don't require constant maintenance through anxiety and fear. Healthy relationships don't make you feel like you're auditioning for a role you already deserve. Strong bonds don't leave you questioning your worth every single day. The person who's right for you won't make you wonder where you stand. They won't leave you guessing about their feelings. They won't require you to shrink yourself into someone more convenient, more available, more willing to accept breadcrumbs disguised as meals. They won't make you choose between your dignity and their attention. When you don't call them, you're not playing games. You're practicing self-respect. You're saying, my energy is precious and I won't spend it on someone who treats it like it's worthless. You're choosing dignity over desperation. You're choosing peace over pursuit. You're choosing yourself over someone who never chose you. And here's what happens when you stop chasing. You discover who was running toward you all along. The right people, the ones who truly see your value, will notice your absence. They'll reach out. They'll ask where you've been. They'll realize that life feels different without your voice in it, without your energy lighting up their world, without your presence making everything feel more alive. But some won't. Some will let you go without a fight, without a question, without even noticing you're gone. Some will replace you so quickly it'll make your head spin. And that's not a reflection of your worth. That's information. Painful, necessary information that saves you from wasting more time on someone who was never going to choose you anyway. Your silence becomes a mirror. It reflects back to them exactly how much space you actually occupied in their life. And sometimes that reflection is smaller than you thought. Sometimes it's non-existent. Sometimes you realize you were never even in the frame. That hurts. I won't lie to you. It hurts to realize that your presence meant less to them than their presence meant to you. It hurts to discover that while they were your priority, you were their option, but it also liberates you from the exhausting cycle of trying to matter to someone who's already decided you don't. Alfred Adler taught us that all human behavior has a purpose. When someone consistently makes you feel like an option, the purpose is clear. They're showing you exactly how much space you occupy in their life. Believe them. Stop trying to expand that space through sheer force of will. Stop trying to convince them that you deserve more room. Your silence isn't cruel, it's clarity. It's you finally honoring the truth that your actions have been screaming while your words kept making excuses. It's you saying, I refuse to be an afterthought in someone else's story. It's you choosing to be the main character in your own life instead of a supporting role in theirs. You've been so afraid of their absence that you forgot the power of your own. You've been so terrified of losing them that you lost yourself in the process. You became a shadow of who you are, constantly adjusting your brightness so you wouldn't overwhelm them, constantly dimming your light so they'd feel comfortable staying. You started speaking softer so they wouldn't find you too loud. You started needing less so they wouldn't find you too demanding. You started giving more so they wouldn't find you too selfish. You became a smaller, quieter, more convenient version of yourself, and they still didn't choose you. But here's what you need to understand. The right person won't ask you to dim your light. They'll bring sunglasses. The right person won't ask you to speak softer. They'll lean in closer. The right person won't ask you to need less. They'll want to give you more. Stop trying to convince them to want you. Stop explaining why you're worth choosing. Stop making yourself smaller so they'll have room for you in their life. Stop accepting the role of supporting character in a story where you should be the lead. Stop auditioning for someone who's already decided you're not right for the part. The right person won't require you to audition for a role you already deserve. They won't make you compete for attention that should be freely given. They won't leave you analyzing every text, every call, every interaction, searching for signs that you still matter, clues that you're still wanted. Your absence will teach them what your presence couldn't. It will show them the texture of their days without your voice, the silence where your laughter used to be, the emptiness where your care used to fill the spaces, the void where your energy used to light up the room. And if it doesn't teach them anything, if they don't even notice you're gone, if your absence feels the same as your presence did to them, then you've learned something even more valuable. You were never meant to be there in the first place. You were trying to plant yourself in soil that was never going to help you grow. Don't call them. Let them feel the space where your voice used to be. Let them wonder what you're doing, who you're talking to, how you're spending the energy you used to spend on them. Let them experience life without your constant availability, without your immediate responses, without your willingness to drop everything for their attention. Let them miss the way you remembered their important days. Let them miss the way you listened without judgment. Let them miss the way you made them feel seen, heard, valued. Let them miss what they took for granted. Your silence is not giving up. It's growing up. It's you finally understanding that love doesn't beg, chase, or convince. Love recognizes, chooses, and shows up consistently. Love doesn't make you question your worth. It confirms it. Love doesn't leave you wondering. It leaves you knowing. You are not too much. You're not asking for too little. You're not unworthy of the love you're so freely giving away. You're just giving it to the wrong person, trying to water a garden that was never planted for you, trying to nurture something that was never meant to grow. When you stop calling, you stop being an option and start being a choice. You stop being convenient and start being valuable. You stop being available and start being rare. You stop being desperate and start being dignified. And rare things, truly rare things, are sought after. They're treasured. They're chosen intentionally, not accepted reluctantly. They're pursued, not settled for. Stop calling. Start living. Let your absence be the wake-up call they need. And if it isn't, let it be the peace you deserve. Let your silence speak louder than your words ever could. Let your absence teach them what your presence couldn't. You deserve someone who calls you back, who chooses you first, who doesn't make you wonder, question, or doubt. Someone whose presence in your life feels as natural as breathing, not as exhausting as holding your breath. Your phone is not the bridge to love. Your desperation is not devotion. Your availability is not your value. Your silence is not surrender. It's strength. Put the phone down, step away. Let them feel your absence. And if they don't reach for you in that silence, then you'll know exactly where you stood all along. And more importantly, you'll know where you're going next.